what happens is that the different compartmentalization goes away in the brain. Both temples begin to talk to each other, and then occipital and frontal lobe begin to talk to one another, and all four sections, when they get activated, now you are training, and you're getting easier and easier for you to have an outer body experience and lucid dreams and mystical experience, because now it is having a very different conversation with your energy centers below, specifically heart. And when that occurs, something begins to change physically. The neurons around your heart and in your heart begins to change, and that energy center begins to have a very different conversation with your head. So a lot of the times, what people do in specific types of meditations and intention is that you want number four and number four and your brain to connect together and send out a signal at the same time. So you're sending a signal and you're receiving at the same time, right? You're sending it from 6 and 7, and you're receiving from 4. So we talked about the awareness of it, the expansion of your awareness muscle that becomes very, very strong, and you can begin to activate 1, 4, 6, and 8 at the same time. Now, for some of you guys, that might sound crazy, activating 4 or having your awareness on 4 different energy centers at the same time, but you get very good at that. Now comes the convergent focus, which is the attention portion of it. So when you're blessing your energy centers, you have a convergent focus. You're making your attention muscle stronger. And when you want to leave your body, forget about your body, and you want to become the pure consciousness, the pure love, which sometimes you get so close to it, some of you guys, especially if you cry a lot in some of these meditations. And when that begins to happen, now the awareness helps you get outside of space and time. And when you go outside of space and time and you begin to pretend to be the future you, when you begin to feel the way your future you is, you will now begin to get downloads. You will start to get visions of things you have never seen before. You might be able to see through the eyes of the future you, which is out there in the quantum in the form of a wave. So when you begin to zoom in on that now, when you're focusing on it again from outside of space and time, when you focus with your attention of what is happening over there as the future you who's healed, the future you that is not worried about bills, the future you that is more confident, the future you that feels really worthy. So when you focus on that, now what you're doing is you're collapsing it from wave to particle, and the current you and the current you is becoming the past you. So as you remove your attention completely off of you and you focus on the future you're collapsing the future you from wave to particle, and your current self will slowly begin to go from particle back to wave. You've had enough of the current you. You want to become the new you. And when that happens, you start to upregulate and downregulate. Thanks, Vivek. Different genes. You begin to have different conversations, and you're upgrading your energy centers. And while you're doing that, you're changing and by the way, the attention, the visualizations, the thoughts, they are literally becoming from going from thought to chemical. So thoughts literally become things. And there's different phases of that. So the thought turns your autonomic nervous systems to send different chemical signals to all of your cells, right? Every energy center is controlling a certain aspect of you. So all of those energy centers are now sending a different signal to all of those cells, and those cells are now upregulating and downregulating genes. Not only that, they will begin to sometimes add telomeres at the end of your DNA, and telomeres shrink as we age, so you can reverse aging. It's crazy. There are people that have had 20% extension into their telomeres. Imagine taking 20% of your life back. And when that happens, you're now having a different communication with the quantum, because you're constantly emitting frequency, light, information. You're constantly talking to your field in the quantum. So when that begins to change, you then begin to receive back something differently, which then changes your personality. That is when you're literally transitioned into the new personality of who you wanted to be anyway. Some version of you that you wanted. That then changes your personality. Some of you guys will begin to feel very different when you go outside and you encounter some situations that you encounter all the time, and you will be a little surprised that your reaction to that circumstance was very different. And it'll surprise you, it'll surprise other people. And when that begins to happen, you know that you now have a different personality, or you're transitioning into a new personality, and your personality obviously translates into your new personal reality. Questions?
So when he says that's sending the signal out, so what signal is it? Is the signal the new me or just one aspect of the new me, like let's say abundance or worthiness, or just a complete combination of everything I want, and that's a new me that I'm sending out, a future
But
me?
so you look at this as in a couple different ways. Who is the new you? Do you know who you want to be? In some of the videos that I put on YouTube, I
Yeah.
ask you,
Uh,
who do you want to become? Who are you pretending to be? Who do you want to be?
mhm,
Because who you are being changes the way you communicate with the universe and everybody else, and even including you. How you, who you are pretending to be determines how your body is going to behave. That is how you heal yourself when you change the way. So you said when he said, what was the
Sending the
beginning
signal
part of
out to the.
sending the signal out? So how clear
So
is
what's
your
the signal?
intention?
Yeah.
How clear is your intention? Let me see if I can have my notebook. Uh, so have you guys ever heard of the concept where, so this is an empty sheet of paper, okay? The new you, the worthy you, let's say, okay? The new you, I'm going to put N. I've talked about this a couple different times. This is the new you.
Yep. Okay. So
And
do one
now,
for the
so
new
when
me.
when
Yep.
you send the signal out, it's going to be this,
Okay.
because this represents, and now there's going to be intention on the left and elevated emotion, EE, whatever. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
now these are elevated emotions associated with your intention. This is the symbol of your intention. And this is the intention of a couple bullet points. Right? You want to heal, you want a new job, you want to love what you do, you know, and you want to be able to go where you want to go places. Okay. And then what are the elevated emotions? Worthy, in love with life, love with life, freedom, and empowered. And okay, that's fine. So now I can look at the intention portion. I can look at the elevated emotion part of it. And I look at it, let's say, before certain meditations, and I keep looking at the letter N, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what begins to happen is when you send the signal out, you're sending just the symbol N out of your
Okay.
imagination. But what happens during the day then is when you look at the letter N anywhere, billboard, signs, doesn't matter, and you just smile at yourself, right? It's like, is this universe
Mm-hmm.
giving me hints? Is this a tease happening? And you're
Synchronicities.
playing with
Yep.
yourself, but guess what's happening? Every time you look at the letter N, something inside you, the curiosity begins to change your frequency. It begins to elevate your emotion because you keep reminding yourself what all of those elevated emotions mean to you. It means exactly what you want as your new intention. And same thing with, you'll sometimes think about the intention list, you'll think about the elevated emotion list, and every time you run into the letter N, you just, something in you comes up again. The intention comes to your mind, and the elevated emotion comes to your mind. And the more we think about things, the more we are harmonizing our energy centers depending on different elevated emotions. And what it begins to do is begins to unstuck the lower three energy centers, having these energies come up with just your intention all the time. You're thinking about all these things so many times, right? So now you have so much clarity when he says send the signal out, right? And I mean, you could have a particular job intention, or you could have a mystical
Mm-hmm.
experience intention. Some of you guys really need to heal from something, so that is a good intention. That, okay, I want to heal X, and then you will have all of these elevated emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And what the elevated emotions are going to do is going to keep the upper energy centers in very high frequency, And what that does is it is just cleansing yourself. It is changing the way your cells behave based on how the energy centers are sending signals to all your um, cells, and is changing you biologically. You're just upgrading constantly because you're no longer running by the program. You are now the active participant. You're the captain of how your life goes. Most of you guys are no longer thinking the same thoughts throughout the day. Some of you guys are getting stuck in traffic and you're still just in love. You know,
Mm.
you'll do a random breath work, you'll bless your energy centers, and what you're doing is now every moment is a beautiful moment, and that changes the state of your emotions. And the state of emotion has this positive feedback loop of different positive thoughts that you're now thinking about, especially when you see the letter N anywhere, right?
Mm.
So now you are constantly thinking about your intention. You're constantly thinking about the elevated emotions that are associated with your intention. And what is it doing? It is keeping you focused on the future you. And the more you give it attention, the more the energy flows in that direction. And now you're actively, even without meditation, collapsing that wave into particles. And when you get really good at this, you can look at someone's picture and begin to heal them. It's quite magical.
Yes.
I have a healing meditation coming up this afternoon before I see you guys again.
David, can you also take a picture of this end paper which you made? Maybe later you can send it by Telegram.
I have a lot better version of that.
Or
I think
that would be
somewhere saved on
more
my phone.
better.
I'll send it on the Telegram.
I have scanned a few pages of Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Dr. Joe describes in that book in detail, makes maybe 5 pages, how to make the symbol and how to draw those lines and how to do this exercise.
Yeah.
So I can scan that and drop it in the group.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would be nice, Alex. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah. I've drawn those letters many times, but I never. My problem is I don't persevere. I just give up. But not this time, not this year.
Change.
So
Change.
yes, change, absolutely change. Yes. So
New year, new you.
You're
Yes.
not good enough to give up.
Exactly.
You know, this reverse psychology really messes with your head, and your
I know.
brain just goes,
Yeah,
wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. I kept thinking about how does that work? I'm not good enough. I'm good enough. I'm not good enough. Yeah, it
It is,
keeps your
yes, it
You
works.
know,
boggles your
David,
mind.
when you were mentioning when you were joking about this, like I'm not good enough to feel guilt or I'm not good enough, I thought, okay, maybe it's not a good idea to use these words like I'm not good enough in any form. Maybe it's like can be bad for me. But actually, I tried it other day and it made me laugh. So I guess
There you
like
go.
that's the really good effect of it.
It immediately changed your energy.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. It's really cool. Really cool.
Hi, Christina.
Hello. So I wanted to say I really love this meditation. I just wanted to find out, like, because you have mentioned it, that in order to receive, you need to open your heart, right? So how do you know if you, like, if you open your heart? Can you said that you can feel it as
I'll
well?
tell you.
Okay.
There's two big signals of the fact that your heart is open. Number one, you're gonna start crying a lot. And number two, when you are just doing your things around the house and you're outside, you will feel this lightning of just love inside of you. You'll feel so much love inside of you for no reason at all. And that's when you realize that your heart has figured out how to open randomly. And when it opens over and over again like that, you can sort of do it on demand in your meditation. Secondly, rather than paying attention of is my heart open or not, when you are paying attention to convergent focus on your heart, what you're doing is you're just giving it a lot of energy. And the more energy you give it, it's as a consequence, your heart energy center is changing, it's upgrading, and it goes into such an elevated level where you begin to, when you think about your future you, the healed you will feel so bad for your old self, the sick self. You will feel so happy and worthy and fulfilled in life for the new. And all these feelings are happening in your heart, and you're just feeling so much joy and love. and you're crying. So all of those combination will give you clarity on the fact that it's working for you. So yeah, I think those are the couple different ways for you to think about it. And it'll happen without meditation too. The more you do this, you will begin to you will begin to have waves go through you. You will cry for no reason at all. You will laugh for no reason at all. And all of those things are good things because you're changing biologically, you're changing epigenetically, and your frequency is continuously changing, right? And now your body is playing with itself, trying to figure out what is this new me that is happening, because you're transitioning from becoming your old self to the new self. You're constantly becoming the new self anyway. And every moment you're becoming the new you, but you're just so similar to the old you that you don't notice it. But this time, I'm asking everybody to be intentional about who the new you should be. And the better you get at this, the faster the shift happens. Especially when you do it from outside of space and time. There are times in meditation. The first time I just got up and went for a walk, and I looked back, and I could see myself sitting in a chair still meditating. It's like, that's weird. And there was another time when I became the universe, and I was like, okay, wow, how am I supposed to put all of that in that body? So it's just a lot of things happen. I've traveled. I was gone for weeks and hours somewhere, and it was unbelievable. And then something happened. My phone rang, or the doorbell rang, something, and I just came back to my body, and I was, oh my God, it's only been 10 minutes. I was on this long vacation. So when those things begin to happen, mystical experiences, out of body experiences, then that's when your intentions come to you so fast. Under 5 minutes, that has happened to me. In less than 5 minutes, you can change your reality completely. But for that to happen, you're upgrading this door between the worlds, right? The better this gets, the more you can go in and out, and the more you can then play with the energies of outside, which is technically you. 99% of you is on the other side of this door. And I'm asking you to cross this door. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to see some of you guys again, if it's not too late for you guys, depending on where you're from. And Alex, you are going to post something in the Telegram? All right.
Yes, I'm going to post.
Perfect. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, David. Thanks.
Thank you, Davey.